time you set the bead, it's still there. You see it?
Well, I just did it yesterday.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is to make sure that the tube on the inside is actually center, I usually squeeze all the way around first before trying to set the bead.
So you don't think that it has anything to do with the goo?
Not at all.
There.
No, because the goo will evenly distribute itself after like a mile of riding.
That's what people I trust told me, but I had
yeah, the goop will not settle in one spot. It doesn't harden. It stays liquid in there. It only hardens when it gets forced through like a pinhole, like a puncture.
Yeah.
And then it rubberizes.
And that's the whole purpose of having it.
Right. But like what you could have, another thing, is you could have one spot where your tube is kind of wrapping around the inside of the bead to the rim. Basically. Yeah. So you got to make sure as you go around.
You don't see like a tube. I have a little flashlight here too.
Yeah, I got my flashlight. I'll go grab it. Work light.
So Sheridan upgraded his shop recently. Like, oh, he wanted me to kind of show it off. Like, this is Sheridan's new electric unicycle shop. So if you're in Portland and you have something wrong with your wheel, this is the place to be. Let me see if I can almost even like get a picture of you like working on it. There it is. There it is.
I usually just start at the valve stem and go all the way around. Just
so
I have a mark. Yeah. You don't want that tube to be visible at all anywhere here, which can happen with certain sidewalls and certain tires.
Yeah, I hope I didn't mess up the tube.
I don't think you did mess up the tube because the tube is really elastic, so it kind of does what it wants to do. You aren't going to bias it very much. Now, I do note that right here, right where this valve stem is, because of where it is, like you see how this bead, the threaded part, can push in almost completely to the lip of the rim, but right here, there's like almost 1/8 of an inch.
Yes.
So if I try to push that in, it doesn't want to, and that's because of the valve stem.
Also, Ben, like when we were putting the tire on, Ben did a little thing where he put like a little thing like over the valve stem to kind of, I forget what he said it was for. Like he put like reinforcement around the valve stem, like a little piece of rubber.
Oh, on the valve stem itself?
Like, yeah, inside of the tube, between the tube and the tire. Like he just put like a little reinforcement, like rubber piece in there.
Okay, so that could be something that we're dealing with right here, where the sidewall is colliding with it and therefore can't like actually seat up against the rim all the way right there.
Yes.
Yeah, because you see how right here we have this gap. I mean, I'm able to bring it in a little bit, and when we inflate it, that's really what's important. We want this line to be even all the way around. Yeah. Okay, so that's okay on this side for now. Let's flip it over.
I know, you have to flip. Yeah, that was I was gonna say, do we flip it over now?
Yeah, you have to massage the other side and verify that the other side does not have the tube pinch. At the end of the day, every tire is going to feel and ride completely differently.
See, like, oh, it's almost like tighter there, you know? It's like, oh, sorry.
You want to hold the light though.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Oh, yeah, I can see in there real good.
Mm-hmm. There it's stiff, but that's where the valve stem is.
Yeah, Ben put a little piece of rubber. I'm trying to remember where he got it from. I think it was from like an old tube. You know, he took some old tube tire and he like stuck it around the valve stem to, you know,
to prevent it from tearing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So now at this point, what I want to do is get my pump. I don't have an electric pump, but this does the job. Take the pump. We're gonna pump it up to like I don't know, maybe 5-10 psi, enough that it will start to form its shape, but we can still like massage it.
Still finesse it.
Yeah.
I could pump it while you finesse it.
Well, no, because we just need to get it to a pressure that we can finesse.
I'm trying to become more, at least aware of like wheel maintenance. You know, I don't necessarily want to be 100% self-sufficient, even though that would be a great goal. But you know, a tire change, I should be able to do that.
It's funny that you say that because like it's like one of the most like common things that everybody needs to be able
And
to
it's like
have,
the hardest.
but it's like the hardest thing. Yeah.
You like, and that's the thing. I thought, oh, you just, you know, you put the tire on there and you do it, but that's not just it. It's like this whole like finessing the bead, finessing this, you know, the connection point.
Okay, so I'm looking at this. Like I said, a variance of a 1/16 of an inch is about what's the maximum permissible. But right now that actually sucked in. So
Yeah,
that
it
did
did.
fine. That's good.
The valve stem area.
Yep.
I mean, it's a little tight right there. By the time, you know, Ben helped me change this tire, and it took us, and he like knows what he's doing, you know,
Right.
and it took him 3.5 hours.
To change this tire.
Yes.
Because it's an emotion and there's a lot of
Oh,
screws.
dude, there were so many screws.
Yeah.
There were screws on screws on screws, and then he had to like, and everything was like siliconed into place. It was like waterproofed. Like, I mean, it was beautifully done, but it was also a bitch to undo it.
Right, and redo it. You have to
Yes.
re-silicone everything.
Shut up.
Oh.
I didn't reseal everything. I didn't re-silicone everything, but I'll tell you what,
The
like
batteries themselves are sealed,
the
right? The entire battery is like a pack, and
Yes.
that's sealed, and
Yes.
you didn't open that.
Of course not.
Right. So the only thing you have to seal is the battery and the controller.
And there and there was still like silicone like around it, but it wasn't like sealed shut.
Okay, so this side should be okay. We'll flip it over.
Are you going to the ride tonight?
I'm thinking about it.
It's like in a different location. It's in a weird location.
I thought meet up at Labs and go to Powell Butte.
No, it's someplace else. It's like someplace on the east side. Let me look it up. Now I wanna. Oh, I'm recording. I forget what it. There's like that Wednesday group chat.
Yeah, Wednesday night flight.
Yeah, it yeah, right there. I can see like where it's a little like maybe a little bit there. But like it got moved. We're chasing after that party still. You know, the Tabor dance party people.
Mhm.
They just keep moving it.
Well, the problem is there was drama between a few of the DJs. There was something that happened. I don't know what happened. I'm not like the drama police.
Well,
I know it's split up into small groups.
What I heard was that like something like there was some rangers up there a couple like the last time there was a Tabor dance party there were like some rangers were talking to a whole bunch of people, and like they were saying like you don't have a permit, but now I think it's like broken off into like we met up with some like bike group the other week and
Right. I mean it's
fractured.
Yeah, it's fractured. It's the fractured butthole.
Yeah, I can see where it's like a little
Yep. You just have to
finesse that
finesse
shit.
it. Yep. The number of the beast. Yep. There we go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep. And then it'll kind of grip it. Sometimes I feel like the soapy water actually kind of works against us right here because what we want is to kind of finesse it and have the rubber bite and grab where it's trying to, but like it's getting sucked back in because there's soapy water in between.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps the seat a bead, but then you want to dry it out to actually like set a bead. Like you can use it to like I don't know.
I wonder if
I honestly don't think it's like good for tubed tires using soapy water because you use the pressure of the inner tube to have friction between the tire and your rim. So if we're trying to do this and we have soapy water in there and we pull it and we want to kind of like go to the spot,
it'll suck right.
It'll suck back in because that's.
Is there a way to dry it?
You have to release the pressure and go in there with a towel.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Well, let's try it.
Let's just try it.
We're already this far.
You want to do that? I mean, at this point, it's looking pretty good.
I know. I mean, it's just right here. I mean, do you see it like right here is
where
it goes in.
But like, if you look at this line, I can see the striations, and then right there, that's like right where there's no striations, like just a slight bit. But like I said, as long as it's less than a 1/16 of an inch, then you're usually fine. So I would, you know what pressure you write at?
Dude, I'm embarrassed to say because everybody's like, oh, you should be writing higher than that. I write at 36.
Well, I mean, I write 33, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like lately I've been hearing, I've heard people being like, I write at like 45.
I write at 45 on an S18.
What? Why? What's the difference?
Well, because I keep breaking rims. And I don't need to have a soft tire when I have suspension.
Wait, so your
S18
was
45.
Right, a high PSI. And then your EXN, you ride at 33.
Yeah, because there's no suspension. And I need that to like...
Oh, you want the give.
I want the give, yeah.
But on the S18, you don't need it because you have the suspension.
I have the suspension.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I break rims on the S18. On the EXN, the rim is really strong. So, it seems to be doing fine with that.
Somebody was telling me,
I mean, you really have... I hammered back a rim, a Gotway rim. Mm-hmm. Like, I hammered it back. It was Kane's warped ass rim.
Yeah.
I hammered that. I forged it back. I used the blowtorch.
That's awesome.
And got it glowing red hot and forged it back.
I hear a lot of bad things about like, oh, the Sherman rims.
The Sherman rim is made of like
a soft metal or something.
No, what actually it is it's made of something that has something to add hardness or stiffness to it.
Yeah.
Which has the problem that it cracks. That's what happens to the Kingsong rims. They'll get cracks in it when they dent. Yeah. The Gotway rims are hard to dent, but when you do dent them,
so it's
they don't crack.
So there's like another metal. There's like another extra metal in the compound.
Yeah, they're alloys. All of them are alloys, but some of the alloys crack and some of them bend. And the ones that bend, they're gonna
be the good ones.
Are the good ones, yeah. And like you have to really like I tried to jump over a pothole, but it was actually a set of railroad tracks, and I landed on the railroad tie, or the railroad itself on the street, and I heard it go tink, and it dented just the slightest bit. Like, I couldn't even find it again when I went back to look for it. I had to, like, look really hard, and, like, I know that would have just destroyed my S18 rim, because I have experience with destroying S18 rims.
Oh, I was going to ask you for Kirkpatrick. What's the best S18 setup? Kirkpatrick, I can't believe he got an S18 when he did.
I know. That box up there is full of S18 bits and MSP shell, but
yeah.
I literally have like 2 extra shells.
See, I can even tell. Like, look right here. It's like tight, and then like, oh, well, I guess that's that's right by the thing that.
Yeah, that's that thing. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So what that is right there, that's the rubber piece.
Right.
So, go try that out. Before you think too much about what it looks like, just try it out. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
That's fair. Come here. And I have to like adjust, dude. Everything with my wheels like wrong. I don't like my pads like where they are. I can't seem to get them just right. And then like my Chapoot pedals, like they're a little too aggressive. I have to mess with them.
Yep, like I said, it's really just massaging the inner tube and making sure that's seated. Most likely what you had was you pinched your inner tube on the inside, so somewhere in there, your inner tube was like
Yeah.
literally pinched in there, which also meant that if you were bouncing on it a lot, you could just wear out the inner tube and pop a hole in it.
Yeah.
My guess is that's what you had because you felt like it's like a scoop thing.
Yeah.
So that means that it's something with your inner tube because that's an air pressure thing. You're probably getting a pocket where it's like stretched, and so it's like not feeling the same internally, even though your bead was set the same. Because we set the bead the exact same as it was before, but I think it was that squeezing it down, like actually bringing it together,
Yeah.
which forces the inner tube out.
Because there was something wrong with it. On my way over here, I was like, even like I couldn't go over 25 without it really getting like a little off.
Right, but now it feels good.
Now, well, and I wasn't like rocking it hard out there, but I could tell just like, you know, because I wasn't wearing any gear, but I could tell like, oh, there's no like that wobble was gone.
Yeah.
So that's like, let me like, rock this for a couple rides, and if like, I need something, I'll contact you.
Cool.
Sheridan fixed it. Sheridan fixed it. Hooray! Contact Sheridan if you need shit done in Portland. Thanks.
Portland Wheel Works.
Portland Wheel Works. Yay! Bye everyone. Adios. Peace out.